I'm a West Country farmer myself, so I know just how important farming is to the great British countryside. But Rich here is taking that to a whole new level. How many acres are you dairy farming?
We're farming about 1,500 acres here
Wow.
at Wyke in the Brue Valley. And as you can see behind us, all the cows happy today, out in the grass.
Grazing
on a
grass,
nice
where
sunny
they
day.
should be.
Where they should be.
Fantastic. How many cattle?
We've got about 1,300 dairy cows, and some of the family lines could be 100, 150 years old.
Because your family line is also incredibly long-lived here in this area making cheese, is that right?
Yeah, making cheese. We've been researching the family history, and we've traced it back to about 300 years ago when one of my great-great-grandfathers had a cheese stolen in the local town of Shepton Mallow.
No.
So, and the thief in the court notes says that the cheese fell off the back of his cart.
Fell off the back of a lorry.
So the excuses never change, even 300 years later. But nor does the recipe. My grandmother Ivy was the one that really step-changed the business. She wrote the recipe down, and that's why we name our vintage cheddar after Ivy. And her Ivy's vintage now we export into about 160 countries all across the world.
Wow, go Ivy.
She never travelled on a plane and never left Somerset, but she'd be amazed to know now that her cheese is being sold all around the world.
And so when people in Britain are buying your cheese, they know that they are buying a piece of the countryside. It is literally from here. How far do you have to go to actually make the cheese?
Well, we make the cheese just over there in the dairy there, right in the heart of the countryside, and then we cut it and pack it at our distribution depot over at Wincanton.
How important is it to have cows out on pasture?
Cows that are fed grass make really, really nice milk for cheese. So grazing is really important to us, and that's why we divide the fields up into paddocks so that we can get as much grazing, as much fresh grass to the cows as possible. And obviously when the weather's like this, and they're just so happy out here.
Yes, and of course really good for the land as well, so very good for sustainability and biodiversity in the soil.
Yeah, it's great for sustainability, and we run our own sustainability mission called Wyke Farms 100% Green, which is about taking all the waste from all of our processes. We generate all of our own electricity.
So will you take me to see some cheese?
Yeah, I'll take you, and we'll go and graze some Ivy's vintage if you like.
Oh, fantastic, let's go.
So this is the cheese store. This is
amazing.
This is where it all happens.
This is incredible. How much cheese is here?
Well, there's about 10,000 tonnes in these stores of cheddar, all maturing away at all different ages, and so some of these cheeses, will be made today and sold, at Christmas next year. So,
okay, so how old is the average bit of cheddar?
It depends on what flavour profile you want, really. But we're going to look at these three here. So we've got a mature, an extra mature, and a vintage. And this would be around about 17 or 18 months old.
Great. So should we try this one first?
Yeah,
we'll try. This going to be the lightest one, mature cheddar?
This will be the lightest one and the youngest of all the cheeses. So it's you can see it's quite smooth on the iron. It's quite creamy.
Oh, very nice, very soft. The great thing about cheese, so packed full of calcium, so easy, you can pick it up in every local shop, sells a bit of cheese.
Yeah, we saw the cows earlier on. It takes 10 litres of milk to make 1 kilo of cheese.
Wow.
So it's a dense nutrition source, rich in A, D and E, and loads of calcium. You can see the calcium on the outside of some of these blocks.
Interesting what you say about vitamins A, D and E, because vitamin D really hard to find in foods, so it's a really good source.
Fantastic source of vitamin D.
Great, I could eat it every day. Do you eat it every day?
I eat cheddar I eat cheese every day, all different cheeses.
And this one, so the last one is vintage.
So this is the one we sell into the export markets.
But we can get it in Britain as well?
Yeah, we can get it in Britain as well.
It's really rich.
It's got a really nice, and what we're looking for when we try these is we're looking for a rounded flavour that builds up in your mouth.
Oh, fantastic.
So you can pick up that the complexity. So and a good vintage cheddar should be like a fine wine when you try it, and that's what we're looking for.
Love it. So we've got sustainable, totally natural, 100% British, tastes delicious. Just doesn't get any better, does it?
No.
Thank
This
you.
is the best cheddar. Try some.
Love it. I'm not leaving, you know that.